52 kilos as of this week.
52 kilos. How does that feel when you say it? Like out loud, like 52 kilos.
Oh my God, I don't want to cry.
Yeah, don't cry because then I cry.
Ultimate low. I was so depressed. My industry had imploded. I'd lost most of my work. We were stuck at home. I was lonely. I was depressed.
Yeah.
Which was the biggest thing of everything. You don't realise if you don't have that in check, you won't see your results.
No, not only physically, people need to understand you weren't sleeping for 2-3 days at a time.
I remember just doing one of a progress shot with you and just looking at how bloated my face was and how bloated my entire body was. That was my wake-up call. I've really got to do something now, because if I don't do anything now and stick to it, I'm never going to. And I'm going to.
How amazing. My first podcast with the one and only Janine, JB, an inspiration to so many, and especially myself. Thank you for coming on my first podcast. We're definitely going to be going down memory lane today.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure, my love. Do you remember before we started on the journey? Mm-hmm. It's going way back. How many years ago was that now?
Each time.
The very first time.
Oh, the very.
I remember it was at Atomic when you first came to me.
Correct.
So I guess that time frame. Mm-hmm. What was the point that made you come to me, I guess?
I guess that was the beginning where I was starting to put on weight and I just needed help with some guidance of, how to train at the gym, what I should be eating.
Yeah.
Because I've always had such a really unhealthy relationship with food.
Yeah.
So I just remember I was scared, I was nervous.
Yeah.
But, I was open to the mindset of, be open with what's to come.
So when you first came to me, what was those first few weeks like?
I remember my first session.
I think I do too, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, you did a leg session of all things. Died. I didn't walk for a week.
I think it was hard for both of us, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I remember I was struggling mentally with the whole, even just doing the super light weights.
Honestly, I just remember you really didn't want to be there.
No.
You really didn't want to be there.
I whinged, I complained.
She did.
I had an excuse for everything.
I definitely had my work cut out.
Yes, you did. You stuck around.
Oh, yeah, babe. We've been through it all.
Yeah.
All the highs and the lows, everything.
But yeah, I think I was wanting to do it, but my mind was like, you can't. Like, this is too hard. Like,
Had you tried a lot of things previously before coming to me and it just hadn't worked?
I have trained with a few people prior to you, and I struggled with their meal preps and their meal plans because I'm a simple person. I don't like things that are complicated. I'm with a very busy lifestyle.
Exceptionally busy.
Work lifestyle is extremely busy, so time to prep and prepping like a million sort of ingredients was something that I was never going to stick to. So I found it really hard with previous trainers to kind of get the food side of things on track for me to be able to, stick to it.
So it wasn't really accommodating or I guess customised.
Correct.
For your busy schedule. And you have, my dear, the most busiest schedule out of anyone that I possibly know. Like literally, where have you just come from?
I've just come back from Brisbane. I've been on tour for 2 weeks. So.
Well, thank you for joining me on my first podcast. I wouldn't have anyone else but you. So I guess for me, or for a lot of the questions that I get asked, so anytime that I do share your story, right, especially on socials, a lot of people come to me and they say, how long did that take? And I sort of had to think about this question because even though you've been with me for many years, it really wasn't until after COVID that you just had this mentality of just F this and you just changed.
Yeah. I think because over so many years, I don't have your normal body. I face so many challenges and obstacles and hurdles. I've got PCOS, I've got scoliosis. You know, I've got ADHD, borderline personality disorder, the list goes on, you know. So for me, in the beginning, I think we never tackled, you know, especially with the PCOS and what it did to my body, how that affected me down the track, where it was getting in the way of finding some sort of, you know, success in being able to lose weight, because high cortisol levels, my insomnia, you know, my stress levels from work, you know, all those things kind of contributed. And regardless of how many times we were training or how well I ate my food, you know, we weren't seeing results. And I guess during COVID, I hit my ultimate low. I was so depressed. My industry had imploded. I'd lost most of my work. We were stuck at home. I worked for myself. I was lonely. I was depressed. And I got myself into a really bad headspace where, you know, things were not looking good. And it wasn't until we were coming out of COVID, and I remember just doing one of a progress shot with you and just looking at how bloated my face was and how bloated my entire body was. And I was like, that was my wake-up call, where I was like, I've really got to do something now, because if I don't do anything now and stick to it, I'm never going to, and I'm going to kill myself, you know? Yeah. And I think that's when you and I were really, you know, focusing on how do I manage my cortisol levels? How do I manage my cholesterol to be able to then see the results with my training program and my food program? And, you know, with someone who's had body dysmorphia since she was a teenager, you know, all those things kind of factor in as well. So I think, you know, once you and I were able to get on top of my cortisol levels, which was the biggest thing of everything. You don't realise if you don't have that in check, you won't see your results. No. And then,
what a frustrating journey that is.
Oh, yeah, and you were by my side. You know, you believed in me when I never believed in myself. You were still rooting for me when I gave up on myself, you know. And I think if it wasn't for your guidance and support and your love, I would not be where I am now.
I'm going to let you.
You know? And, you know, I think the biggest thing for me was to never give up. And I think coming out of COVID, that was my time where I was like, nah, F this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go hard. We're going to do this. And that's when things kind of kicked off.
Yeah. Yeah. And wow, like they so kicked off for you. In such, like, I guess for me, it was seeing you just decide to change your life and show up for yourself every goddamn day. It was the most inspiring thing that I have seen. And, you know, to the extent that you became my training partner too. And you kept me accountable for times. And I think once we started seeing the results, not only physically, like people need to understand, you weren't sleeping for 2-3 days at a time.
It's true.
So when people come to me and they say that they're hardly sleeping, 2 to 3 times, countless times, I kind of remember that you weren't even sleeping, let alone trying to make progress.
Times I was coming in on an hour's sleep, just like a zombie.
Yeah.
But had to show up.
Just going through the motions, continuous. And I guess, you know, then we did thorough like blood tests and we worked through all of those issues together. And once we finally sort of pinpointed what the issues were and could address that and have custom plans made for you, sleep, cortisol, all those things, that's when we started really seeing some great progress. Yep. Now there's nothing stopping you.
No.
To date, how much have we lost?
52 kilos as of this week.
52 kilos. How does that feel when you say it? Like out aloud, like 52 kilos.
It does make me emotional because it just reminds me of the journey I've been on and how hard it's been.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh my God, I don't want to cry.
Yeah, no, don't cry because then I cry.
You know, I think when you're someone like me that faces so many challenges in life, it's so easy to give up. And there's been so many times where I've wanted to give up. But I think, you know, coming out of COVID and really, you know, devoting a health and lifestyle change and really sticking at it and seeing the results, like I'm...
Can I ask you, what are the things that really help you stick to it and maintain this lifestyle?
I changed a lot of things. I changed my environment.
Yeah.
I got rid of toxic things that were getting in my way,
Yeah.
whether it be people, work,
Yeah.
whatever it was. Eliminating, bad habits, like not going out and getting super messy. Really focusing on a better routine to kind of be accountable for all my actions, and that took a while for me to kind of get into the rhythm of that, because I always felt like I'd lose my identity if I wasn't the trash bag on a Friday or Saturday night, or, my clients won't think I'm fun anymore because I'm not out partying. But when you change your mindset and you've got a healthier mindset, all that stuff doesn't even matter anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Doesn't, does it?
Nope.
Just having boundaries in place, isn't it?
That's the biggest thing that you taught me is boundaries,
You are such a giving soul, and you give for everyone around you, including myself. And I see that. And if you don't fill your cup up, then you've got nothing else to give.
Yeah, it's true.
To the people around you.
It's true.
So prioritising that. And it's okay to say no.
It's totally okay.
And everyone else probably benefits every time you do say no.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I need to ask you something. How do you feel about yourself now compared to the version of yourself on day one?
Whew.
Yeah.
It's like night and day, really. I'm a person that struggles with self-love. I struggle
You are so loved.
with being kinder to myself. I used to struggle with believing in myself. And I think now, just the journey that I've been on, it's really changed my mindset with all those things. I do love myself. I do, I am proud of myself. I'm proud of my achievements in my life. I'm proud of the achievements I've done with my journey so far. And for me, this is only just the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm doing for a short period of time. This is like a lifestyle
life.
change. Yeah. So, it's definitely changed my perspective in a more positive way than a negative outlook.
I feel, this is for me, looking in with what I've experienced with myself and with you. There's something very confidence building when you can have a plan and stick to the plan.
Yep.
And honour your word.
Yep.
And I feel like, especially now, that is something that I see you do week in, week out, with your food and with your training and the way that you show up for yourself.
Yeah, because I also used to make excuses as to why I couldn't do things.
Yeah.
Too busy to
Yeah.
train. I'm too busy to meal prep. I'm too busy to sleep. I'm too busy to do this. And I used to make excuses as to why I couldn't do those things. And now I put those as a priority and everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
I work my life, for the most part, around my workout routines, about my eating.
Yeah.
Now when I go on tour, I do, prioritize healthier.
Can you just tell the story about where the salmon was when you went to tour?
Which salmon?
Last week when you rocked up. Normally there's a bottle of wine waiting for you. And what happened? What did they have waiting for you? Salmon for dinner, wasn't it?
Oh, there was salmon for dinner, but they forgot my wine. And look, I'm not drinking at the moment, let's be honest. But it was the principle that they forgot about having something for me.
Babe, so I read that wrong with your text. I thought your text said normally they'd have a bottle of wine waiting for me, but now there's salmon waiting for me.
Oh no, I know that one. Okay, so I was at an awards night, and generally
this.
I would be drinking, but I turned up to my chair and I had a plate full of salmon and veggies, and I was like, they just knew. They knew I was coming. It's my greatest day.
Oh, your day would have been made. My
was
day
the
would have been
best.
made if someone was waiting for me on arrival.
I was like, how did they know I have salmon for dinner while everyone else had chicken and beef?
I love that for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, just how far you've come.
Yeah, it's literally,
And there's no excuses. Like everyone, like, oh, I've got a work thing with whatever. You can make it work for you.
you totally
if you
can.
prioritize that.
You totally can. It's just prioritizing. And like I always say, man, if I can do it, trust me, anyone can. If there's anything that like you tick off that's something wrong with someone or that, things that face them in life, that is me. I'm that person that faces absolutely everything. But if I can kind of get to this point in my life, anybody can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so inspiring. You have no idea how inspiring you really are, babe.
Well, you're the one who
On so many
inspires me,
levels.
so, I'm the lucky one. Because if it wasn't for you being in my corner all this time, I would not be where I am today.
Love you.
I love you more.
What's something you can do now physically, mentally, emotionally you couldn't do before?
What is something now that you can do physically, emotionally, and mentally that you could not do before?
Oh, that's a good question. I think physically is having a stronger body and a stronger core where I'm able to do a lot more variety of workouts and machines that I
Yeah.
couldn't do before. Obviously,
There's nothing you can't do now.
yeah. And I will try everything. I think before my headspace was always like, I can't, my back, I can't. No, I can't do this. I can't do that. It's too hard. It's
Well,
too
to
this.
be fair, though, you probably couldn't.
No. Thanks,
Let's be
Captain
honest.
Obvious.
No, because your body and everything had so much information.
Oh, yeah, I was so inflamed. I was
just,
swollen.
like,
I
it
was
was-
swollen from head to toe.
It was a battle each day.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
And I don't think people understand the importance of nutrition. Like if you've got depression, if you've got anxiety, if you've got sleep problems and all of this sort of stuff, a lot of that comes down from what you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's the food.
And not being afraid of putting good food in your mouth.
Yes.
I think the biggest
Yeah.
obstacle for
Preach it,
me,
girlfriend.
the biggest obstacle for me was I was afraid to even eat 2 meals a day and be guilty.
I couldn't even get you to eat one meal. What are you
No.
talking about?
Or even, parts of a meal.
Yeah.
Because in my brain, it was guilt,
Yeah.
Now, man, I smash through 5
Eating
meals a day.
machine.
I smash through it with no guilt and nothing in my brain that's telling me you're going to be fat, you're going to put on weight, you're going to put on weight, because that's the thing that always used to linger in the back of my mind
Yeah.
for many, many years. So that's definitely one huge obstacle that I've overcome in the last few years.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And I think when you actually gave me the reins and you just said, you know what, you give me the plan, I'm going to stick to it. And when you really started trusting in that plan, I think that's when we started making some crazy results too.
Totally. And a plan that was easy for me to follow.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to meal prep. I don't
Yeah.
have time to meal prep.
Yeah.
I don't have time to get all the million amounts of ingredients or certain foods I don't like. If there's something on the plan that I don't like, then I just won't stick to it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force something down my throat. But I love every meal on my plan. I look forward to everything I eat. When I used to wake up, I would not be hungry until about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Now when I wake up in the morning, I'm starving. It's like as if I haven't eaten for hours.
Well, you'd probably get anxiety about what you're going to eat before you even ate the food as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And having that, it's funny how it works, isn't it? I guess with the meals, because we did we've done the premium meal prep company. You were probably a big instigator with why I did that.
Yeah.
Because you're so time poor, babe.
Yeah.
You just don't have time to meal prep or anything like that. And I'll do anything in my power. So with the meals being delivered to your doorstep the way that they are, how does that help you?
It is the best thing on the planet. You have no idea Like,
Yeah.
I think about the food when I'm not around it. Like,
It's pretty good, I have to
oh my
admit.
God, it
Not
is.
to blow my own
I'm sorry,
horn
but
over
like,
here.
I can't cook chicken like that. Like, juicy and succulent and stuff. Come on, please.
Don't forget about the pumpkin doll.
Oh, yeah. The puree, chef's kiss. Like, I can go on forever. But honestly, I'm fussy. I'm a person that's very particular with what she eats, how she eats her food, how she likes her food, you know, and I can't rave enough about it. And, you know, for me, you have no idea, like, what a massive difference it makes in my day-to-day life, you know?
Well, I mean, trillion%, but also, like, because now we're at 52 kilos, but
Yeah.
a lot of the weight's been falling off you, I will be honest, since we have been consistent with the
Yeah.
meals, and you've actually been getting in your 5 meals a day, because even before that, I don't think you were actually getting in your 5 meals.
No, I was still like,
But now we are. But isn't it funny? The more
Yeah.
food you eat, the bigger the weight loss.
yeah, and it's just programming your brain that it's okay, it's
Yeah.
healthy. It's
What
the
your body
biggest-
needs.
It's what your body needs.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like my body's, every few weeks it's changing. Like, well, this dress is already big. You know, it's what, not
Yeah,
even
big
3 weeks old.
problems. Yeah, big problems.
Like,
in your wardrobe.
people are like, you're complaining. I'm like, I'm not complaining. Like, trust me, I'm not complaining. But
That's a problem we can deal with.
yeah, I love some of my clothes, and now I can't wear it. Like, I know it's a problem.
Although
but
your wardrobe is quite the wardrobe.
Yes.
Not most people's wardrobe. It's very luxe.
yeah.
Very beautiful.
But I think food, massive difference. Your meal prep plan stuff is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it helps. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you master meal prep, you master everything. That's in my eyes.
Yeah,
A
true.
huge factor of it. If somebody was listening to this podcast right now, JB, and they were feeling a little bit lost to starting on their health and fitness journey,
Yeah.
what would you say to them?
I would say trust the process,
Yeah.
trust the journey. It's not easy. Trust me. My journey has been a long one. But trust the process and journey, and don't be hard on yourself if it takes you a little while to just get in the rhythm of things.
Yeah.
Don't give up, because I know for myself, if I don't start seeing results quite quickly, automatically it's like I failed. What's the point? Throw the towel in. I think you just really need to be patient more than anything else, and just go with the guidance that you've been given, because it's there for a reason and it works. You know, don't resist, you know. I think just go in with an open mind, and it's okay. You're going to have great days. You're going to have not so great days. And the not so great days, even if you don't stick to it 100%, it's okay, because the next day is going to be a better day.
Yeah.
You know, that one bad day is not going to ruin your whole entire journey.
Yeah.
It just sets you up to be able to be a lot strong-minded.
Yeah.
And a lot more, you know, you gain a lot more strength that way. And you'll find that those crappy days are a lot less the more you go into it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true, hun. And I guess just finding something that you can commit to more better days than worse days.
Yeah.
And setting
And
yourself up to have that.
Totally. In the beginning, you are going to have some crappy days. It's you're changing your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, and I think at the end of the day, you've got to think of it long term, that it's going to be so much more beneficial for your mindset, you know, your life, the way you approach things in life, the way you live your life.
Yeah. There's no better investment than yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, hun, it wasn't just the 52 kilos that you've lost. You as a person, like, I can't even find the words, because from with what you were back then
Yeah.
to with who you are now, it's like completely polar opposites. You have completely changed physically and mentally.
It's true, and it's interesting, because last week I remember having a conversation with, you know, one of my clients, and we were like backstage after the show had finished, and he sat down with me and he goes, Jay, just want to say, you know, your transformation has been incredible. And he's like, I'm not just saying physically. He goes, but you as a person and mentally, you're a way different person.
Yeah.
And I said, I know. And he said, like, he goes, look, you've got your fiery and feisty side. It's never going to go away. Just depends when it comes out now. But like, he said, you know, just the way you approach things now. He's like, I love this side of you.
Yeah.
And I said, me too. I said, I didn't like the person I used to be. I said, it wasn't very nice and I didn't like it myself. And I said, I think the last few years has really taught me how everything, you know, kind of ties in with each other. Like if you don't feel good on the outside, you're not going to feel good on the inside. So once you kind of merge the two together and you find that happy ground, then you find that nice balance.
Yeah, they work hand in hand.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
If you could talk to the old JV before we started this journey, what would you tell her?
I think I would say to her, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to finally
You can
do it.
Yeah.
You're not going to give up.
Yeah.
You're
I
going
got goosebumps.
and you're going to be really proud. And you're going to hope that if your journey can inspire one person, you've done a really good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry today. 'Cause we're not going to cry. Birthday tears aren't going to happen.
Cry. No, don't cry.
Yeah, because every time I share your before or after photos or anything like that, you inspire so many people.
Oh, I hope so.
So many people, babe.
It's like I've been there. I've done that. I know the place you've been in. It's not nice.
Yeah.
It's not kind to your
Yeah.
mind.
We've got one life.
We do.
We've got
We
one
do.
life.
And stop procrastinating and just do it.
No one's going to do it for you.
No.
You got to get up every day.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make that day count. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the results.
Yeah. And you will get your results.
Every goddamn day.
Yeah, you will get your results.
Yeah.
And I think for me, my mindset was getting out of that place of, well, why haven't I lost this much weight in the
Yeah.
first week?
I don't
You know?
think you really enjoyed the journey at the start.
No.
Like you didn't want to be there, you didn't want to eat, everything was too hard. You had this like, but now it's like everything is easy. You're
Yeah.
gonna do it. There's nothing. I don't ever hear you complain anymore.
No.
Like nothing. Like you want to train, babe? 1 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, let's train, babe. You want to be at my house 6 a.m.? Yeah, let's do it.
So call
You
me
want
a-
to do 200 kilo hip thrusts? No worries.
Used to call me a scammer.
You were such a scammer. Oh, my hour PT session was cut out for me.
I was a
I was
drainer.
exhausted training you.
Yeah, I was a drainer. I'm sorry, babe.
That's okay, babes. I love you. No, you're not. No, you're my favourite. You're my little powerhouse. And you inspire me. That's why I say, like, people don't get it. You inspire me daily, babe. Because
Well-
you show up and I just see. And I like, for me, it's like inspiring to see how much your mentality has changed, because it sort of gives me a reminder too, you know, the days that I probably not so positive or I've got excuses. It's not going to help you.
And I think we've both grown so
So far.
much over.
That's for another podcast.
I think we've both grown because we've experienced so much in our personal lives as
Yeah.
well, that's also a big part of the journey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, those
Yeah.
those things in life that we learn from.
So many obstacles that would
Yeah.
have just been like, just give up.
Yeah.
Throw in the towel.
Yeah, and it's made us stronger. So
Absolutely.
it's, for me
Resilience.
personally, I know my headspace is a lot more stronger. I don't kind of have these negative thoughts of, I can't do this like I used to. Everything's like, I'm giving it a try.
Yeah.
I will try. I will do it.
Yeah. And I guess that's, again, how important it is to have the right support around you.
More than anything.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right support, energy, and people around you, like doing it on your own is just going to be extremely lonely and difficult.
And very hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with that. So when you hear Evolve With Us now, what comes to mind?
Ooh. How long do you have?
It's a bit like that.
It's a beautiful, welcoming community of amazing humans who are extremely supportive of one another, who uplift each other every single day, in a nutshell.
My queens.
But it's also an environment that you've created. A person that inspires all of us on a daily.
See, isn't it funny when you say that? Because you girls are my inspiration. So it is, it's like a family.
It really is.
Yeah, yeah. So what's next for you and what are you working towards?
I think for me is to continue with, growing a lot more strength, being a lot more stronger physically and mentally, and continuing my path of happiness,
Yeah.
being at peace in life, enjoying life, with no limitations.
I love that for you. And I love that I get to do this live with you.
Well, I love the fact that I have you in my corner every single day.
Ride
I
or
feel very
die,
blessed
baby.
and grateful.
Ride or die.
That's right.